What's going on, YouTube? I wanted to make a quick video to announce that the game that I've been making finally has a name. It's going to be called World Tour Tier, if I can save things. It's been a while since I made one of these and made an update. So yeah, it's great to see you guys and hopefully give you guys a little bit of information on what's been going on behind the scenes, behind some of the stuff that I've been making fully, and just kind of give you an update on the progress and what the timeline uh, aimed at timeline with things. But none of this is official. I'm actually not going to really mention some really late on date stuff, but I will. There will be some talk about it. So far, let's start off with the bigger things. The game is going to be called World Tour. I've got some of the cover art done, and I'm actually going to be selling on Steam. Hopefully, I just sent the review to Steam for the review page. Hopefully within the next few days, they will approve it. And then I'm also going to be doing some playtesting on the side with some friends. I'm getting that set up. And then hopefully later on, I can start playtesting with the public more, open that to the public some more so I can actually get some more people trying it out so I can crush some bugs eventually. So that will be going on too. So you could probably look into that eventually. More than likely, I'll make an announcement on this channel when I do public playtesting through Steam. We'll see. I'm not too sure. This is my first time through all this. First time selling on Steam. First time even selling a game in general in the public market. So I'm still learning a lot. So please be patient with me. That's the first thing really announced in the big announcement. I will probably be redoing the cover art as I get closer to demo. Demo will not be for probably about another month or two. I can't make a promise on that really, but I am aiming for around that date. I don't have an initial release date because this is like my first time doing this, and I don't know when. Usually you'd probably overshoot for something like this, and then, once you know it's good, then you would announce a release date. I really don't know that yet. We're not that close to demo yet. So yeah, we're getting very close to it though. Know that more than likely I should have a demo hopefully by the end of this year because I'm trying to iterate fast. I'm trying to get this done. The other thing is too, I'm finishing my last semester of college. So like I said, please be patient with me. I'm going to be going back very, very soon to start the next semester within a couple of weeks or so. Granted, I won't be taking full-time classes. I only need a few more classes to graduate. So it won't be as much of a workload college class-wise while working on this project. But it is going to take some of my time as I have been working on this project all summer long. For the most part, I did go on a camping trip with a friend. But besides that, for the most part, this is basically what I've been doing all summer, is just working on this and visiting some family as the summer has been around. So there's that. And yeah, that's really going to be kind of the initial overview for the rest of the year. Hopefully I can get a demo out, get some people to the public. But before demo, more than likely I'm going to be doing a playtest. So if you are interested in joining the playtest, hopefully once the Steam page is out, within the few weeks of doing some private playtesting with some friends and family and some more people that I do know, I will probably be opening a public playtest right before the demo, and then we'll be launching the demo of something like that. So if you really do want to try this game out, just keep an eye on it on Steam. More than likely, I'll make an announcement on this channel for when playtest starts publicly, that you can sign up through the Steam page. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'd have to look into it again, and I'll make an announcement if anything. But yeah, besides that, going into later future, currently right now, I'm looking into implementing multiplayer for the game. We could actually, before we talk about, let's talk about like some feature updates. I have implemented some inventory systems. I have implemented some beginning world saving, but all of it is still very new. I still need to look through the code a lot more. The inventory doesn't even save yet, but the world saving does work, so there should be building into it right now where the player's editing and building should be saved. I'm currently had been working on a pause menu and some graphic settings for some of the players, so trying to get some of that basic fundamental stuff that should be in every game that I just haven't gotten around to yet. And then some other unique features that is going to be the foundations of this game, and kind of what the hook is not just the world building and stuff, but there will be a lot more exploration. So I have implemented portals. I have been working on some custom 3D dungeons that you can't build in. These are going to be no buildings areas for the game, but there are going to be mostly for exploration, mostly for maybe some more lore story elements within the game. And hopefully, as that goes on, I can hopefully do the artwork, and hopefully I do the artwork justice, because I haven't done a whole lot of 3D modeling. As you guys know, I've probably only done 2 character models, which is the Jasper, and I haven't even finished the other dog model that I've been working on. Besides that, most of my 3D models have been free models with CC0 licensing or attribution licensing, so they will be in the credits for the people that I use their models, like some of the swords, the axe, the players I got just from Mixamo. I will probably be modifying. I'm not too sure if I can, but I mean, it will be modified, probably more than likely, or just like made up from the scratch to be more of a faceless character. That's the other thing. The character will basically stay the same. I've kind of just decided to work with it just because, being a solo developer, you kind of just try and work with what you have to a certain degree. I am trying to implement it sort of into the lore and the story of it. There won't be a whole lot of story. It's more trying to make exploration just a thing, and just kind of just getting the game mechanics feel, just to make a great game, because story and lore is just, if I do something like that, you want it to be really polished, and more than likely this game will be an early access game. So it's going to be a very rough development cycle going through this up until launch, but I am trying to stay on a fixed timeline so I can actually turn this into something profitable, something so I could keep on doing this, because for the past 8 months or 9 months that I have been working on this between college, I haven't been really making any money. And it's not sustainable, trying to do something like this. It is a business, or I'm trying to take it as a business. And when you do run a business, you do have to run by deadlines to some certain degree, as well as, just working your ass off in general. I have been working, like I said, just about every day, even on weekends, on this. Granted, I don't really get up on a fixed sleep schedule, but I do probably put in about an average 8 hours a day, if not more, into this project. The only reason I don't put more into it is just so I don't burn out, and I try and give myself at least, enough sleep, trying to get a little bit of exercise here and there. Actually, probably the year that I haven't done a whole lot of exercise or gone to the gym as much as what I'd wish. But it's very crucial for me, so I can keep on doing this project, and I can keep on doing it in a balanced and fixed sense. But I am trying to give it as much as I can, because I have watched many developers. I've been looking at many developers on YouTube, and it could be just sitting here all day. It isn't really great for the health, so I try and get out a little bit and do a bit of exercise or some different things, and maybe go for a walk or something. But yeah, so this game will be coming out hopefully. The demo should be coming out hopefully sometime by the end of this year. I don't know. We're already into the 8th month, so we only got, what is that, four more months? So I can't guarantee the demo by the end of this year. Hopefully sometime. I'm trying to aim for it. I'm trying to, like I said, put those deadlines and try and get it, because you have to make those deadlines. When you try and run something like that. So keep on a lookout for that. Keep a lookout for the Steam page. The announcement trailer should be up hopefully soon. Hopefully it should, everything should work out. If Steam doesn't approve it, they're just going to send me some stuff that I need to fix, and then hopefully within like another few days, it should be out soon, and you can wishlist it on Steam if you are interested in that. But yeah, that's really it. That's the update that I want to go talk about. There's not much to say. A lot of the other stuff with the game has just been some bug fixes, some of the world generation. Just been messing with that a little bit, because it's just very, it's a lot. It's not a whole lot of code, but it is very math heavy. I don't fully understand a lot of it sometimes. A lot of the times when I go back to work on it to try and make performance updates, or to try and get it balanced out, and it's not, it doesn't work super. How would I say this? This is very early development, and if you're not a developer, you can just skip this part. This will probably be the end of the video, and thank you for watching, if anything. But if you are a developer, you're a game developer, you want to know like kind of what the process is of working with this procedural generation, I just wanted to say this for you. But I'm not an expert at this. I am using a lot of AI, coding tools. I'm using ChatGPT to help me do a lot of the coding, although I just copy and paste the code. I don't use those, what is it called? Kind of like the ones that you give them like full access to your editor. But that being said, I do have to read a lot of the code and go back and look through it and know at least what the individual functions do, and somewhat of what the math is doing and what functions are being called, and or methods, or however you want to call them. I'm not too sure even what it's called in GD script. I'm pretty sure it's considered methods. But getting into it, the procedural code, it Minecraft, as far as I understand, they don't use normal maps or roughness maps. It's just texture maps. So I am using those within this, and I'm sure it's taking a little bit more performance. So there's that to consider. The other thing is too is I don't know. I already have some greedy meshing implementation for the blocks and stuff like that. So that is there. There is a lot of performance stuff already in there, but so far I am having trouble rendering it further than like 15 chunks with my current setup, and that's probably, I'm looking at the, I'm sorry, there's a lot of popping on the mic. I don't have a pop filter. And I'm sorry that I'm saying a lot of stuff, but I probably did it again. Hopefully I have a pop filter in OBS. I don't know if I have it implemented yet, put it in or on, or yeah, I set it up one point. Anyways, yeah, it's a little bit different, and it's taking more of a performance cost. The other thing is Godot. I am doing this all with Godot, so it is instantiating a lot more nodes, honestly. And I don't have it sampling just the surface yet, from my understanding. I don't have it sampling the surface or the chunks that the player only sees or are exposed. It's also creating nodes for all the chunks underneath. As far as I understand, it is not doing them in vertical columns. I think they're separating separate chunks. It's not just one vertical column as a full chunk. I'm not too sure. I need to look into that a little bit more. But it is instantiating nodes all the way for the bottom columns. And the top columns, they also have, every single chunk has a multi-mesh instance or a grass instance into it. So it can potentially render grass on top of it if it has dirt blocks. This has been something that I've been just going back and forth fighting with. I will probably even redo the grass, and not just the grass. When I make more plants, when I make, maybe add like more farming stuff into the game and things like that, it will be it's a lot, because you have to make dynamic meshes. Like the grass blades have 5 segments in them each. They're going to have, I already have a small LOD system for further grass and linear grass. And I do want to add grass that has even more segments, at least like 14 segments in total, I think is what a nice standard would be for a very near LOD system. Because you can still kind of see the edges within the grass right now. And I want this game to look really, really nice and really peaceful and really nice to explore. Besides, and to build in, really, for all the people that like those kind of comfy games. I wanted to look really beautiful for being a partially procedural world. And then the other thing that I'm trying to add is just getting some custom maps in to get some more custom artwork and some exploration going on, so people when you sample noise and you create a procedural world, it doesn't make, it gets repetitive. And that's one of the things that people talk about a lot, about your many of the block games within this genre that have kind of been made over the years, besides the block game that you're probably thinking about. I'm avoiding saying about it a lot, is because now it's become more, I could probably talk about it, but the more you kind of go on and stuff, there's a lot of legal stuff that I just don't really know about yet. So I'm trying to be as professional as I am, even though I like goofing around on this channel so far, really. So yeah, there's that's really a problem with procedural generation, is it kind of just, you can only add so much, and you can kind of add, most of the stuff you add is usually through code. It can kind of do, I've seen many mods through, we could probably talk about this, through Minecraft. You can see many mods that there are that allow you to do builds. I think that's part of what like the mapping system is. I do want to add some of that to like the overworld. There will be that, hopefully, for the story that I'm kind of thinking, or the lore that I'm thinking. But you could still only just do so much with blocks. I mean, so that's why I want to do the custom artwork, so I can actually have some curved textures. So can actually combine some, more higher resolution graphics within it, more high resolution shapes and artwork. Will they look super great? Not really. I don't know how many years this project is going to be into. I will be releasing this into probably early access, so it more than likely is going to be a multiple years of projects. But hopefully by the time I release into early access, I can get the funding to actually start hiring some artists, to hiring some some more people. I did purchase a license for a like a fantasy music album. I'm not too sure what the artist name is. I'll probably, I think it's Cyberleaf is what he goes by usually online. You could probably look that up and find his website. His name is a little bit different, but he will be in the credits, and I probably will mention him in some other videos. But I will hopefully be purchasing some licenses for music from other artists, because I do want to have the music. It is a very important thing to me. There's a lot of things that I really care about this project. My biggest concern with it really is just scope creep. I'm hoping that scope creep doesn't I'm hoping it doesn't take over. I think with a lot of the modern tools that we've been given, of course with like the AI tools, and then hopefully me learning how to use it effectively and not just I've spent many years. I probably started coding when I was like 14 or 15. So I know how to code moderately well. I'm not like a senior dev with over 20 years of experience or something like that. But even at that, I feel like my mind has kind of just gotten slower over the years now that I'm like 24 or so. I'm already hitting my mid 20s, and I can already feel my body just not have as much energy as what I did when I was like 19 or 18, when I was just first kind of really getting into coding. And then, I think it was like 19 or 20 when I started college. So, but I do feel like I do have a significant amount of experience kind of with what I'm doing, even though I've never really had a real tech job, I guess, in the software industry. But I say it's significant enough to be at least like introductory or intermediate experience. This is my like first really, really big project, though. I have done many other projects with, several thousands of lines of code, but not more than probably like 3 or 4,000 lines of code. So it's not that big. This project is probably trying to get past that 5,000, 6,000 lines of code so far. I'm not lying about it. It's not that much code, really. Hopefully, like overall, this project might only end up being a few 10, 20,000 lines of code altogether. I'm not too sure. And then again, I haven't really been keeping track, but I do know right now we're probably approaching the 5K lines of code. Could be more. I honestly don't know, but as far as it seems like, at least within this, using Godot and its engine and all of its tools, which has been really great to use. Yeah, so it's been really good, and just within that, going back to what I was talking about, it's very hard working with AI tools. I want to have this discussion just because it's there's a lot of controversy behind it, and there's a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of people that have been using it, and they're trying to cheat their way to do something and just take the easy way out, in a sense, and just know that like there's a line between using a tool and trying to use the tool for, how do I put this? AI is a tool for the most part, and the way they market it in some ways is to try and make it seem as the it's like anyone can code, and that's great. It's wonderful. Everyone can now ask questions, which you would before have to use like Reddit or some other Stack Overflow, and I would even use those a little bit to look up code, although I would try to read the documentation as much as I could and try to, look up just the things from scratch and the things that tools were provided. But every now and then you come across a problem where you would have to look up, Stack Overflow, or if you just liked copy and pasting code, that's where you would go, or you just go to GitHub or whatever and copy and paste their code. But now you can ask AI and it can, answer very specific questions, and that is beautiful, because who wants to be the person that you have to go and ask? Granted, I haven't worked in a corporate structure in a senior or a structure like that, but I have worked a job, of course. Going to ask your seniors, or going to ask intermediate people, how does this work, and they have to explain it to you and take the time to do that to you, which they probably don't want to do. They want to work on their stuff that they were assigned to or something like that. So now you actually have someone you can consult, or a tool that you can consult, and it can actually give you very niche answers. You can ask for very niche or in-depth questions, and it can actually answer that for you, and that's great. That's what I mostly use it for. That's what I use as coding, and it does speed up the production time as far as I can tell. Do I understand everything that's going on? No, but I mean, there's many developers that even when you get into like thousands or 5,000, 10,000 lines of code, you're not going to be able to remember everything and you probably shouldn't, because you probably wouldn't have a life really if you're remembering that much. Um, so there is that, and I use it as tools that, but the way they've marketed it with some of these tools that you integrate it with the development environments is to kind of generate you a GPT make me $1 million app within a few days or whatever. And I'm sure most of the people that have spent enough time in this field have actually understood that. But for the people that haven't, that's why I just wanted to talk about this. Because it is very important to talk about things that, you know, even if it does create some controversy. Artwork wise, you may notice that I have used like a small pile of grass in the foreground of the artwork. I used for the marketing artwork. I have used Blender. I rendered the player as also part of the foreground. I used Krita to also do the title and logo. I drew on it, but I did use AI to generate like the grass patch that was in the foreground that the player kind of stands upon. And I still want to go back and I probably will around demo time, is go back and do a full re-rendering of the actual textures and stuff like that, and with the player into it. I'm not too sure how well it will look. A lot of it depends too also on like what feedback I get as the trailer, I actually release the trailer and people actually see the Steam page. But otherwise, I haven't used AI for artwork or any other reason, honestly. And we're getting about on the 20-minute mark. Thank you if you've listened to the video so far. I've been talking for about 21 minutes. I usually don't like releasing longer videos because I like being brief, but I wanted to make a longer video just today to kind of talk about a lot of the important stuff, as it has been about 8 months going into this project. And I do want to leave kind of a good useful tool for developers. I think developers, it is so easy, especially when you're younger, to get caught up into watching videos. And don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of videos still. I still watch a lot of developers, you know, when they talk about releasing, especially more on the marketing side nowadays rather than the code side. But for the code side, I do highly believe, especially now that you do have these AI tools, is to kind of just jump into the project and ask the AI to kind of help you a little bit. But don't just have it, you know, spend some time trying to learn some of the actual tools, like how to code from the ground up. You know, get a good coding book and read it. You know, maybe take a few classes, go to college, whatever it really is that you need to kind of get yourself to learn coding from the ground up. I still think that's a moderately important tool, besides just copy and pasting from GPT, even though that's essentially what I am doing right now. But the difference between what I am doing and what you can initially do too is if you actually learn a lot more, you can actually go through and read your code and actually understand what's going on, at least for a moderate amount. And if you get better at it and you do it for years, I'm sure now that I keep doing this, I will learn the Godot scripting language a lot more in depth, and I won't have to ask GPT every single time what a certain line of code does, although I am very forgetful and probably might do, or consult the documentation. I still consult the documentation every now and then for you know, stuff that GPT just doesn't seem like it's answering, or just if I just want to read it a little bit more to kind of like understand what the heck is going on. But do take the time to try and learn coding from, you know, the fundamentals. You know, it really doesn't take too long. If you get a book, you could probably read one and, you know, spend a good month or two just reading it. Especially if you're younger, I highly encourage you to do that and you're really interested in this. But I also want to say is, while watching the videos are very good and you probably can't help it to some degree, now that you have a lot of these AI tools and stuff, try and code something. Try and do a project that's from scratch. It's actually become a lot more feasible, and that's part of the reason why there's been 20,000 games released on Steam every year. It's because it has become an easier business to gain barrier to entry, so to say, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm not too sure how what the specific terminology it is, but it has become easier to make games. That's part of the reason why people are entering the Steam market, or entering this market. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about. If you have listened this far, thank you. I hope this video is helpful to someone either now who's interested in getting into this, or in the near future, or also just wanted to update on the project. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, is give some updates, kind of give you what the process has looked like so far. By no means can I say I'm an expert in any of this because I haven't technically released a game. I don't know how much money it's going to make. And even when I do release the game, I don't think I would consider myself an expert by any means because I think you want to release at least 5 to 10 games before you can consider yourself an expert and actually know what you're doing. Because I can release it now, it does really well. Next year, I could release another game, or in 2 years or 3 years, I could release another game and it just completely flops. And I do that consecutively. Really, it doesn't do it. But obviously, if I'm able to release one, more than likely, I can probably do it again. I have no clue what just happened to my camera. But yeah, I think it just stopped and started. Might have gone back a little bit. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for watching this video if you made it that far. And yeah, hopefully this game goes well and then actually release it and I actually can make something fun and something that people love and enjoy. I really do want to, make this a good product, obviously for my own well-being, so I can actually pay my bills, but also to and be able to do this because I think I generally do want to do this. I won't know until I actually get into the sales part of it, and even within the years, there's some other things I want to do in life too, business-wise. But I do like this. I really do like the creative process so far with all of this, and I really hope I can keep on doing this, into the years for the most part, as far as I can tell. Um. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope this video serves you well and provides some kind of value to you. And you have a good one.